Hi, this is Phaedra LeMay back with my photography categories video. First is my portrait. This is the portrait I ended up with. I chose to do a portrait on my bed because I really liked the background. I have a lot of colors on the wall and I changed the lighting in my room to kind of enhance those colors. I chose to do it on my bed because I thought it would make the portrait a little bit more personal. But I didn't want to be looking into the camera because I kind of wanted to be viewed as more of a piece of art than than an actual person. At first, I tried to look straight into the camera, but for some reason, it just didn't feel very me. And so when I started taking these three-quarter pictures where I was looking off into the distance, it gave me a little bit more depth, and I thought it made the picture a little bit more artistic. And then when I was editing this picture, something really cool happened. Half the photo just completely flipped, and it kind of cut off, like you could see here. But I actually like this version a lot more. I think, if anything, it's a better representation of me. I always feel very all over the place, and I think this portrait very correctly conveys that. Next, moving on to my conceptual image. Hopefully this image isn't too inappropriate for this class, but these are my friends and they're holding drinks, and this was just midweek when we went out to go eat dinner. And I thought this was a really cool concept for an image and something I apply to a lot of the photos I take. I really love how blurry the image is, and I really like blurry photos. I think because it kind of makes the image a little bit more mysterious. Like, nothing is very clear, the story isn't very clear. There are things untold there that the viewer has to kind of figure out for themselves. So, I guess the concept for this picture is just the lighting and the colors and the blurriness. It's just an overload of emotion that tells a really interesting story. Something I just kind of realized right now is that I think the blurriness also adds a detail that photos are very hard at capturing, which is motion. And to add that into a photo is kind of confusing for the viewer. I also kind of wanted to include this photo to kind of emphasize what I was talking about with blurriness and how it adds a lot of character to the photos. It makes it a lot more interesting. I wanted to add this photo in even though it was taken a while ago to give a more exaggerated example. Next is nature. For my nature category, I went outside and took pictures of one of the branches on the trees out in front. I kind of wanted to play on layers, so I tried to take a picture where there was multiple layers of leaves in the background and then try to edit it so you could see the closer leaves are more bright and then the ones in the back are a little bit darker, a little bit more mysterious. I also think I find a lot of beauty in things that are mysterious or on the verge of being scary. I think that in between feeling where you don't actually know if it's scary yet or just normal is a very hard feeling to capture. And so I think when pictures can do that, it's very impressive. My next category is landscape. I chose to take this picture like this with nothing on the sides because I think it really captures how vast the ocean is. I also tried to use the rule of thirds in this photo here, but it's kind of more of an unproportional rule of thirds. The top is the sky, the middle is the ocean, and the bottom is a short bit of land. This wasn't really a conscious choice that I made, but something when I was taking the picture, I was just like, oh, this is really pretty. I think just personally, I'm drawn to more monochromatic photos, and I just love how spacious this photo is because I think it gives a very calming effect. My next image is on architecture. This is a photo of a house in my neighborhood, and I took a picture of it because I really liked how the rooftops all overlapped each other. It kind of looked like a cake to me. I also chose to zoom in on this one portion of the rooftop because I thought it would contrast really well with the blue sky background behind it. Especially the yellow in the window, I thought looked like a moon in a way, and I thought it was really cool. I don't know if the architect had that concept in mind, but that is the way it played out in my head. I'll show you here. The original photo was a lot bigger, and this is like the whole image of the house. You can see it's a lot bigger, but I chose not to include all of this because I thought it would distract from my favorite part of the architecture, which was the top main part. My next section is the still life photo. I thought this was a great representation of still life. It was this vase that I had with a ceramic man on the front in the walking position. I put it on my floor and put it behind this shimmery curtain that reflected a lot of the light in my room, and I changed the lighting in my room to pink to kind of give it more of a lifelike feel. I also added a plant into the vase to add to the liveliness of the photo, and I thought it added a really good contrast to like the pink and the blue in the background. In a way, it kind of mimics real life with like the blue sky in the background and greenery kind of looking like a tree and someone just like strolling down the street. My next category is the street image. When I was out walking my dog, I took a picture of this street lamp and turned the exposure down a lot and the brightness down a lot to kind of capture a mysterious scene. You could see the original photo, which I'm going to show you right here. I was a lot more brighter, but I kind of wanted to add a different type of feeling to the photo that I presented. So yeah, it's pretty interesting what editing could do, but I am more drawn to mysterious photos, so that's why I did that. And lastly, this is my product image. This is my product photo. I took a picture of all of the food laid out in this skewer place that I frequent often. I thought it was really pretty how all the food was lit up and how it contrasted really well with the red. It reminded me of this movie called Spirited Away that I saw when I was younger, and yeah, so I think it just evoked a memory inside of me that made me feel really nostalgic. So that's why I chose this picture for my product picture. And thank you for watching.